Here's an exclusive with Nandita Chatterjee, Secretary, Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation, in conversation with Vijay D'Souza, talking about the scope and scale of progress and development within the space.
The ministry has not really got into the area of definition of affordable housing. What the ministry is trying to support or enable is those who are coming from the economically weaker sections of society, to support them so that they are financially empowered to afford a dwelling unit of their own. That is the purpose of the ministry.
But one of the very interesting plans that you're looking at is getting into a partnership with state governments, where the state governments provide the land and the central government looks at the actual construction. Which of the states you've worked with so far, and what sort of headway has been made on that plan?
Right. You see, the way, or rather the formulation that this ministry has in Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana,
yes,
which is also known as Housing for All Urban, it's like this, that the states agree to sign a memorandum of agreement with Government of India, saying that they wish to participate in the mission. Till now, 28 states have already signed the memorandum of agreement with us, which means they have confirmed to participate in the mission, and they have also agreed within specific timelines to introduce the reforms which the mission document.
Will you take us to what these reforms would be?
Yes. There are a set of 5 to 6 reforms. To be more specific, I would like to enlist them. One is, we are basically trying to see a kind of a situation where there is adequate planning, where there is master plans, earmarking of residential zones, single window for approvals, so there's no delay. There is also a well-formalized structure for tenancy, because rental housing goes as a complement to ownership housing.
Yes.
And we are also talking about the states encouraging the FAR, the FSI and the TDR, if they so wish, so as to encourage private builders to come in. Because you will appreciate that housing is mostly supplied from the private sector.
If I may, I'd like to go step by step with all of the things you talked about. When you said earmarking residential zones, will this be purely greenfield, or are you looking at retrofitting some of the cities right now through slum rehabilitation, through redevelopment of some portions of our cities?
Both. When we are talking of brownfield, which is an existing city, if it already has a residential zone earmarked in its master plan, it makes it easier. Otherwise, we are actually talking of retrofitting. In fact, this is also part of another mission called the Smart Cities Mission, which is a complementary mission to this, and which includes affordable housing in a big way. The second is, yes, the more attractive option, having greenfield, where land is available. And there we would encourage affordable housing projects, particularly in private partnership, where what that we say is that 35% is to be earmarked for the economically weaker sections. The rest of the area is for the private developer to develop according to his...
To develop according to
his design and his purpose.
And this is across the country, across all cities?
This is across the country, all states and all union territories.
Okay. And how would this work? Are you, hoping the private sector approaches you to sign on, or will it have to go through each state government? Because
no, the modus operandi is this, that the states have signed the memorandum of agreement. Now, after this, the states actually go back and they create an awareness in which an eligible household, and household is defined as husband, wife and unmarried children. They are the ones to articulate their demand, saying that yes, I don't have a pakka house anywhere in India, and this is my family, and I wish to participate in this mission, and I demand a house under this mission. Once this happens, the state collects the demands and it prepares plans. Now, the plans can be prepared through a set of permutations and combinations of 4 verticals. What are these verticals? One is, there could be in situ slum rehabilitation, or if land is an issue, relocation, of course with an eye to the livelihood options. The second option is affordable housing in partnership that I just talked about, which basically is greenfield, looking at land being leveraged by the state, private partnership, encouraging them to have more extended FAR, TDR and FSI, where 35% is invested for the EWS, The rest is for the private developer. The third vertical is the one where the beneficiary themselves are quite at liberty to either construct a new house or to expand their house or to renovate their house, provided there is a significant addition to the physical assets. And the fourth is, of course, where we are trying to encourage the low-income groups as well as the economically weaker sections to take loans, housing loans. And for the first time, a very high proportion of housing loans are getting subsidized, 6.5%, which basically means if the market rate is 10.5%, you are an eligible beneficiary, and up to a loan of 6 lakhs, you are actually going to get a credit subvention of 6.5%, which means your EMI comes down from around 6,030 rupees to about 4,020 rupees. So these are the 4 options.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.